ANC NEC Lekgotla takes place this weekend as the party faces intense factional battles. The party's alliance partners are also calling on the NEC to take the state capture report seriously. The public spat between the president and NEC member Lindiwe Sisulu is also likely to come up. eNCA's Govan Whittles is following developments and joins us now live. Govan, I can imagine what's going on in that NEC meeting, and I think it's a very crucial year for the ANC, but I do think that possibly top of agenda will be the ongoing spat between the president and Lindiwe Sisulu regarding her remarks about the judiciary.
Indeed, and we have some details as to what's happening in those meetings. The two crucial meetings here, the NEC meeting which ended yesterday and the NEC Lekgotla, which is extended and essentially gives the line of march to the ANC's deployees within government in terms of what they have to do going forward. And yesterday and the day before in that NEC, we do understand that Lindiwe Sisulu's remarks were criticized, analyzed. There were calls for her to be referred to the Integrity Committee and also some calls defending her. News 24 has got a report out saying when those calls were made for her to be referred to the Integrity Commission, there was also some criticism of Stan Matabata, the chairperson of ANC in Limpopo, for endorsing the incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa for another term in the ANC without having a provincial mandate. So it gives you a sense that there is some tit for tat within the ANC and a long faction alliance at this point. But what's interesting about this NEC Lekgotla is one of the agenda items for this afternoon, starting at around 4:30, which is called Defending Our Democratic Gains Against Attempts to Undermine Our Constitutional Order and Destabilize Our Democracy. That's one of the commission talking points, and in that commission we have Ronald Lamola, Zizi Kodwa, Nathi Mthethwa and Lindiwe Sisulu. That clearly a debate on some of the comments she's made about the Constitution, and will feature the authors of the two open letters, Ronald Lamola and Lindiwe Sisulu. The outcome of that commission is likely to give us a clearer understanding of which faction has prevailed within this weekend's meeting, and should also give us an understanding of whether or not Lindiwe Sisulu would be referred to that Integrity Commission. So that commission being a microcosm of what might happen in the future, but nevertheless we know that there are other members of the ANC in the branches who are backing Sisulu, but her support is nowhere near as comprehensive as the incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa. That's just the state of play in January. Of course, a lot can happen.
Certainly, a lot can definitely happen. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this unfolds. But, Govan, I do understand that there is a NWC report and it makes a number of recommendations. But also, I think what needs to be discussed, and hopefully it is being discussed, is how they are going to deal with the ANC's state of finances, because you have employees saying that there's been no direction, there's been no leadership on this matter, and employees have still not been paid.
At the beginning of this week, ANC employees are beginning a stay away because some of them still need to receive their salaries. And what's interesting about this NWC and NEC meeting is NWC has now empowered Paul Mashatile to take legal decisions on the ANC's behalf. That's because the Secretariat is currently not functioning, with the Secretary General suspended and the Deputy Secretary General, Ms. Jessie Duarte, on sick leave. But regarding some of those recommendations from the NWC report, they interestingly recommend a task team led by Jeff Khadebe, Joel Netichenze, and Ronald Lamola, again seeing him emerge here in key positions, an indicator of his future within the ANC, to not only look at the implementation of the State of Capture report's findings, but also refer matters from that report to the newly touted Renewal Commission. That would obviously entail looking at how the State of Capture report impacts on the ANC's reputation going forward. But the Renewal Commission is also supposed to deliberate on what the party will look like in 10 years, what South Africa should look like in 10 years. So the decisions that it recommends will likely have a bearing on people who might be referred for disciplinary cases and further to the Integrity Commission. And when it comes to party funding, the ANC reaffirming its support of the Party Funding Act, but interestingly here saying it should consider an amendment, and most of the amendments it's considering relate to raising the upper threshold of how much either a company or a person or even a foreign agency can donate to the Multi-Party Funding Act, the Multi-Party Funding Fund. And interestingly, the ANC pointing out that so far it's only received a donation of 2,000 rand rand. And according to the Act, it can only start distributing money once it has 1 million rand in the fund. So right now, very far off from distributing any of that money. Those are the ANC's positions on state of capture and its finances, but it's clear this is more about one view of the ANC, one faction's view emerging and giving a clearer sign of what the ANC will be after its December conference. For now, the factions are jostling for influence to set the parameters of that conference, and there'll definitely be some signs of who has emerged victorious in the outcomes of this weekend's meeting.
Definitely. I think this weekend's meeting, like the youngsters say, is going to be very, very heated. Thank you very much for that comprehensive update. That is Govan Whittles, our reporter. We'll definitely be checking in with him a little later on.